Today we have the pleasure of speaking with three women about events and activities being hosted by their respective organizations. They are Pamela Martin of Women of Worth, Rachel Ritfield of the Bank of Nevis Limited International, BONI, and Latoya Jeffers of the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs et al. Good morning, ladies, and it's our pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning SKN this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure indeed. So let us dive into the meat of things. So this year's theme is all activities will be celebrated under the International Women's Day theme, Digital, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. Ladies, can each of you give me your thoughts on this year's theme? Anyone can begin.
Okay, good morning. I'm Pam. Thanks for having us this morning. So I'm a part of a women's group which is birthed out of the Church of Eden Brown Church of God in Nevis called the Women of Worth. We are a women's empowerment group, so we do lots of different activities all year round, basically empowering women and girls. In 2020, we had a vision board party with the traditional vision board experience, and it was very successful. Lots of the women were able to accomplish their dreams and their goals. 2021, we had COVID, so we were not able to do it. In 2022, we decided to do it again. And this time we decided to make it much larger. So we went outside of our own ladies group. We kind of thought about just inviting lots of different women and girls. We contacted the Gender Affairs Department here in Nevis and asked them if they would be happy to partner with us. And it was that time they suggested, why don't we do it in March, which is the International Women's Day, International Women's Month. And so we said, wow, that's great, you know, because obviously it's strongly featured around women. And so we were like, great. So then we worked towards blending the two, which was our event, which is a vision board event, along with the digital innovation for gender equality. So we were able to kind of pull things together as part of the vision board. The event on Saturday, as part of the event on Saturday, we actually are having an interview with three ladies who are part of the digital technological world. They're in fields usually dominated mainly by men. One is a camera woman and also a video editor, and one is a digital retailer. So they're really dominant and they're really fully fledged in the digital space. So that's one of the ways that we have managed to incorporate the International Women's Day theme with our vision board event. And it's marrying very beautifully. At that point, we asked BONI, Bank of Nevis International, if they would be happy to sponsor and partner with us on this event. They have worked with the Gender Affairs before, and they came along. We spoke to the managers over there. We were in contact with Rachel, who's with us now, and they were really, really happy. They were excited. They loved the fact that it was about women and girls, and that it was about technology and innovation and the digital world. And so the three of us now are nicely married together and are managing to, hopefully looking forward to a great event tomorrow.
All righty. So, Latoya?
Okay, well, for me, the theme, Digital Innovation Technology for Gender Equality, is very timely because we are in a technological world. And although we find women in our IT classes in high schools and so on, we do not see many women venturing into the field of technology in terms of work and career. So we want to encourage women in the field of technology, digital economy, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we thought this was a great opportunity to do so. So we were very happy when Worth approached us to do a collaboration. And of course, BONI is always there, ready to partner with us. So we were happy that we were able to get this opportunity to showcase the importance of technology and why women are needed in technology. I mean, men, they do a wonderful job, yes, but you know, you need a woman's perspective at times, you know? So I think that it is very important for us to encourage women to be a part of this. We are going to have on the same day a plumbing competition. It's dubbed Plumb Her. So we are going to have women setting up a sink, faucet, all of that wonderful thing. So I want persons to come on out and see our women plumbers. We had a workshop sometime last year, and some of the women are going to be a part of this competition. That afternoon, we are also going to have an interview process, which Pam spoke about, with women in the digital economy, women in the digital field, encouraging our young girls and our women to venture into this particular field. So entertainment section, we have persons like local artists, X-Man, we have Eliezer Ramirez, and we have Dejour, who is going to also be there, and some of our local bands. So it's going to be a great afternoon. We have food, we have pop-up shops that are owned by women entrepreneurs. So we encourage persons to come on out and be a part of the activity.
Okay. And Rachel, it's your turn. What does the theme for this year mean to you?
Well, first of all, we're very proud at BONI to be partnering with the Department of Gender Affairs for a second year in a row to support women of our community and to help in any way to encourage them, empower them to be the best version of themselves. And this is something that BONI takes very seriously. It's not just something that we say, it is something that we actively embody. If you look at our business, which is historically probably a more male-dominated industry, at BONI we actually have a 70% female workforce. And these are women in leadership position across all levels of the organization, making executive decisions. So our goals are very much aligned. And what's special about this event is that we have the church, the government, the private sector, all partnering together for the betterment of our community. When speaking of the digital evolution, I think what's really special is that, of course, I agree fully with everything that Ms. Jeffers and Pamela mentioned earlier, but what also special is that it gives women an opportunity to be present both in their personal life and their careers. Whereas normally, if you take, for example, a woman who has just had a baby, it's very difficult to go back to work. How do you then balance your family life, your baby life? But now with the internet and all the different businesses and opportunities that are available there, you're able to juggle a lot more and balance your life a lot more and not be in a position where you have to choose either or, but depending on what your personal vision is, you can bring your best, or you have more opportunity to bring your best to both of those worlds that make us feel empowered as women and make us feel good. So we all want to feel like we're about something and we're achieving something. So having the opportunity to support women in that is the right thing for us to do at BONI. So we're happy to be part of it.
All right, there's so much enthusiasm there coming from each of you. I want to talk with you now about the past activities that were held. And I'm looking at a list. I see the smile on Pamela's face. Perhaps I'll start with you, Pamela. On the 5th of March, there was a church service at Eden Brown Church of God. And I'm also going to talk about the 7th. I want you to talk about that because this piques my interest a little bit. The street outreach activities. There was a chalk back at the Treasury building, which I'm curious to know a little more about. And I see a hashtag here. Hopefully I'm going to pronounce it correctly. Hashtag men allyship or men allyship. You're going to correct me. But please tell me all about these activities if you can.
Okay, so I'll start with the church because that was, and then Latoya can go into the men allyship. So the church service, it was actually completely, I think, it was just meant to be because it was International Women's Month Day, and every year the Gender Affairs go to a different church on the island together to join with the community. And so this year they chose Eden Brown, which is the church that I'm a member of, which is where the Women of Worth operate from. And that same Sunday, BONI were also, as a group, visiting the church. That same church. So all three parties were actually together on that 5th of March, which was just incredible. It was beautiful. It was great for us all to be able to interact together and to connect together and just have a great time, you know, all basically around International Women's Month. So it was just a great experience all around, and I think it's just further blended us together, as three entities coming together for this particular event on Saturday, which will be tomorrow. So yeah, it was a great experience. I think kind of random, but it works beautifully.
Okay, in terms of the men allyship. Yes, okay, so the intent of that event was to show the men how they are our allies and how we need each other, we need to work together. They need to be our support system. So on that same day, we had the chalk back by the Treasury building where we were on the street and we were writing different affirmations about women, persons who passed by, also not only women, but also men. We had interviews with the men mostly as to why women are important in their lives. Why do they think that they need women in their lives? So we really wanted to get the public to understand that it's not a competition. It's not about who is better than who, and it's not about the women trying to be better than the men. Or in some cases, men feel like, we don't know a place. But it is just that we want to show them that we do need each other. And when we work together, we are better. So that is what the event was all about on that day. So on this page, we had different affirmations about women. The men passed and they made comments like, we need women. Women are special. But, some of them, they had other things to say, like, sometimes you make them feel special and they don't really understand how special they are and they don't want to cook anymore, those kind of things. So it was very interesting. And we had a wonderful time on that day. And for this year, we have a hashtag for International Women's Month. It's hashtag Embrace Equity. So we really wanted the men to understand that it's not about women trying to outdo you. We just want all of us to just work together and then we can be better for it.
Well, that sounds very interesting indeed. I was about to ask you what the men said, but you beat me to it. I'm glad that you shared some of those comments. It seems very interesting. All right, so as we continue, tomorrow, the Women Can activities, it's March 18th. I think this is perhaps one of the most interesting. So as part of that, we're going to have the I Am Vision workshop, Turn Your Dream Life into Real Life. What does that entail? What can the women look forward to as part of that?
Okay, so tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. at the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park, we have 65 women and girls who will come together as part of this I Am Turn Your Dream Life into Real Life workshop. We have two speakers. We have Jihan Williams, who is a lawyer. She will speak on fill in your blank, which talk about, who you are as a person, who you are as a woman, how you see yourself. And then the second speaker will be Denise Neal Gordon, who is a member of the Women of Earth, and she will speak on vision. And we actually have created a vision workbook that the ladies will be able to go through. They'll write their dreams, write their visions, write their goals down, what they need, what resources they're going to need to help achieve them. And we are going to actually work with them for the next 90 days to see how we can bring some of these dreams into their real lives. So that'll be from 9 until 2 o'clock. And then from 2 o'clock, the afternoon will be the plumbing competition, which is going to be fantastic. And then all the other entertainment, the pop-up shops and everything that will take place thereafter.
I like that. And then on the 25th, I see there's an International Women's Day dinner and award ceremony. And it says invites only, so that means I can't come.
Not unless I send you an invite sometime today.
Feel no pressure to do so.
But yes, we are going to have an award ceremony on the 25th. And the categories for this award is women in science, orange economy, women in non-traditional roles, women in the blue economy, women in the green economy, and women in the digital economy. So we'll be focusing on women in those 6 different fields.
All right. By way of follow-up to something that you said, Pamela, because you were talking about the fact that you were going to be working with the woman from tomorrow, that is, for 90 days. I think that that's commendable. That's something that I haven't seen a lot of, the way that you would help them realize their dreams. I am curious to know what that means for your continued collaboration, for instance, with Rachel and BONI, if there is scope for further collaborations in helping these women realize some of those dreams, if you've anticipated what they are.
Well, initially the event, like I said, is going to be tomorrow, so it's going to be a full day at the park tomorrow. But right now we have actually brought along some great professionals in the industry. We have Kamara Prentice, who we know as an HR specialist. She has agreed to help work along with us for the 90 days. We have Felicia Walters, who is the deputy principal of Gingerland Secondary School. She's agreed to work along with us in terms of education. We have a lawyer, we have a mental health specialist. So we actually have other people who are helping us through this process. So beyond tomorrow morning, going through to the 90 days, these are people who we call them our supportive sisters. So these are ladies who have said, hey, we want to work with you. We're happy to work with you. So these ladies, if they need, because, we'll need some help along the way. The ladies will need some help along the way to achieve their goals. Everything is not just smooth sailing. They may need some legal advice. They may need some mental health assistance. They may need some educational assistance in terms of, this is where I want to get to. How do I go there? What path do I take? And so we have brought on they've graciously accepted to help us, support us through the next 90 days. This is the first cohort, so you never know. There may be a second phase of this, and so we may be speaking to BONI again. You never know.
I was going to put you on the spot, BONI, as to other iterations and whether you'd be supportive of that. But I think that speaks for itself, definitely so.
So, ladies, and if we can. Go ahead, Rachel.
Go ahead. Yeah, and on behalf of BONI, of course, our doors are always open to welcome whatever opportunities are available for us to partner in the community. And in terms of ongoing things that we do in BONI as well, we have a very elaborate internship program. We actually had one of our interns from last year who did so well. She was offered a full-time position at BONI. We have another colleague of mine who was supported by BONI to pursue her education. She graduated with a first in financial management. I think within the last 6 months or so, she was then promoted to the VP banking. So we are constantly evolving and constantly not even thinking of new ways, because the opportunities just come to us and it just gels, right? So we have been supportive along the community, and we've really ramped that up in the past year and a bit, and we look forward to doing much more. So our doors are our pockets, are always open.
Yes. That's what I get from the looks on your faces right now.
Indeed. So, Rachel, as we continue, I would like to know, or I guess everyone would like to know, how long have you been working in your current role and your inspiration for pursuing a career in your respective field?
So, thank you for that question. Actually, my background is not in finance. I spent 20 years on TV as an actress, TV presenter, model, and I fell in love with St. Kitts and Nevis in that previous role, maybe 4 years ago. And I came here and I was ready for a transition in my career. And I didn't really know how I was going to do that, but this is where vision becomes very important, because I knew I had a greater vision for my own life than anybody else thought they had of me, right? Because they thought, well, you're an entertainer. How are you going to transition into banking? I'm like, well, watch this space. I took a boat to Nevis. I walked into the bank. I introduced myself. And of course, they was like, who is this person? There was no job opening. I was not responding to any sort of job opening. I just showed up and introduced myself. And I basically said, give me a chance. I'll work hard. And if it doesn't work out, you can give me. And my first position there 2.5 years ago was business development officer. And about a year and a few months after that, I was promoted to vice president of business development. So that tells you how BONI supports those who bring their best. establishment. Thank you very much. You know, bring their best to the organization every day. It's noticed, it is welcomed, it's a safe place where you can feel physically safe, emotionally safe, intellectually safe to express yourself and share your own views, because I might not have the traditional training of what are the steps. As you see, this is what needs to happen. Let's go and make it happen. So it's quite a simple outlook, but it's been effective so far. And I think most people at BONI would have an inspirational story like that. So I'm very proud to be a spokesperson for the bank whenever I can be, because I think to be supportive in such a massive transition from entertainment to international banking business development is quite a jump. And, you know, well done.
Well done to you.
Yes, indeed. And the same question for Pamela and Latoya.
Okay, well, my background is actually in education. I started out as a teacher, then I became a principal, education officer, and now I'm in the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs. And some might think, okay, where's the connection there? But actually, my first degree is in business administration. But then when I went to teachers training college, I fell in love with science. I knew I always liked it at high school, but somehow I didn't pursue it because of that fear that I would not do well. And I was pretty hard on myself through school. I had to do well. So I wanted to make sure that I chose subjects that I will do really well in. And I chose the business because I felt like, okay, this will be a breeze, you know. And I pursued business administration. Then I fell in love with science and it was still there in the back of my mind. And I went off to Midwestern State University when I was a teacher for a lot of years. And I studied science. I did biology with a minor in chemistry, and I did a lot of math. I love math. And then when I came back, I was teaching science. We went on to be a principal, which was a challenge for me, but a challenge that I welcomed. And I think that prepared me for where I am today. But I always wanted to be in health. I felt like I could make a difference there. And after 22 years in teaching, I felt like I would have touched a lot of lives. So it was time for me to move on and try something different. So I went and I spoke to the permanent secretary, just like Rachel. They weren't advertising anything, but I just wanted, and I told her, I want to be your assistant, you know? And she was like, you want to be I said, yes, I want to be your assistant. I noticed that you don't have one. And then about a year after, they made the position available. But then moved someone in the ministry into that position, and they advertised the permanent secretary's position. So I applied for that. I did the interview process, but then they promoted the assistant permanent secretary, and I got the job as the assistant secretary. So that's how I ended up here. But my passion is in science and mathematics. So I am always encouraging women, and I wanted to be here because I felt like I could help the nurses, because sometimes we have some of them who are attendants, some of them who are assistants, and they want to move on, but because they don't have the science subject and the math subjects, they don't. And I felt like I could be of some help to them, even if I can give classes afterwards or even make the avenue available for them. So I just wanted to be here to, you know, offer my help. And I've been doing that. So we've been having classes with some of them. Those who cannot afford it, we pay for the classes for them and get them off to realizing their dreams.
Sweet, that's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pamela, you're welcome.
Okay, so my background, well, in the UK where I was born, my background was really in hair and beauty. I came to live in Nevis in 1994, and I got into hospitality. And I've essentially been in hospitality ever since, into tourism. I'm the chairperson board of directors for the Nevis Tourism Authority, which I've been for 3 years. I'm a resort manager here in Nevis as well. So I'm very much into tourism, but also in the various roles that I've played along the way, I've always tried to encourage the women to be the best version of themselves. I always try to encourage them to push themselves as far as they can go and not to let any setbacks, keep them from trying to attain their goal. They come to me a lot with, I'm looking for a job in this particular area, or do you know of any openings here? It just seems to happen naturally, organically. And I always try to find roles or help women try to find the right position for them, the right fit. So I think the being of the hospitality and tourism here in Nevis, which of course we're famous for, and also helping the women to find their place and be the best version of themselves is just my passion. It's just what I love. And so it just works, and things just tend to work out very well. And I find myself helping a lot of women, trying to be the best version of themselves, which is essentially how this vision board event has kind of taken flight, because of a passion for that. And it's just kind of evolved and evolved. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to have hopefully 65 women and girls going to be able to receive some great information, some great assistance from people who are the best in the business. And so we're just really excited about the entire day. It's going to be a great day. The afternoon is going to be pure fun for all of the family. They're going to have snow cones, popcorn, PS5, video games outdoors. We're going to have music. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have pop-up shop vendors. We're going to have a lot of fun outside after the seminar in the morning. So it's going to be a full day, and we don't want everybody to come and enjoy and be a part of International Women's Month.
Definitely so. And as we get ready to close this interview, because I know that you all are very busy, the 30th and the 31st of March, there's an Agri Expo at the El Camino T. Willett Park, is there not? 8 a.m. until?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, there is the Agri Expo that is held by Agriculture Department every year. This year it's dubbed Agri Expo, but it's usually our agriculture food fair. Okay. And it's going to be on the 30th and the 31st. So Gender Affairs Department will be there showcasing some of our women entrepreneurs. We have women beekeepers who will be there selling their honey on that day. And we are also going to be using that as an opportunity to tell persons about what we do at the Department of Gender Affairs. We'll also have a screen set up, some videos that were done by some of our women to encourage other women to do likewise.
I like that.
Well, this is all very exciting.
Yep. So do you have any words of encouragement, ladies? And anyone can start, for women who may be looking or watching at us at this point. And I noticed that you three have similar stories, how you transition into the positions that you are now. Just to let them know that anything is possible. It doesn't matter what your background is and where you come from. Anyone can start.
Can I?
I would just like to encourage all women to dream big and keep working hard. It's not always going to be easy, but nothing good comes easy. It doesn't mean that you give up. And you're going to meet challenges along the way. And as sad as it is, sometimes those challenges are other women, but we have to learn how to build each other up. And we have to learn how to keep pushing for what we want. It isn't, you don't always start where you want to be, but just make a start and keep going until you get where you want to go.
I like that.
I think I would say, along with all of that, which is absolutely relevant and perfect, I think one of the reasons why we have structured the vision board event in the way it is because we understand you need a strategy if you're going to get from A to B and C to D, etc. You're going to have to employ a strategy of some kind to get there. You're going to have to employ some kind of pathway, roadway to get from here to here. And so really for me, it's about employing a strategy. That's what I would encourage any women, think about what you want to do, where you want to go, and then think about how I'm going to get there. So it's all about, strategy in place and following the steps of that strategy. Even if there's roadblocks, even if you have to turn this way or make some adjustments and pivot along the way, once you have a strategy and you put your plans in place, you just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and believe that you can make it, and you'll be surprised what can be accomplished if you just keep going and don't stop.
I love that. Rachel?
And I agree with everything that the ladies before me said, of course. And I'd like to add, I think the real superpower at this day and age is the ability to focus in a world full of distractions. There's so many dream killers around, people who tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. Be strong and brave with your vision, your goals for your own life, because ultimately it's your personal story. No one shares the same story. Yes, the three of us may have a lot in common. We all walk our own paths. We have our own history, heritage, everything that comes with it. So I would say what helped me a lot is not tell too many people your goals and dreams, but just stay focused, because when they come with their reality, it's not going to happen. It's too big. Really? You think you can do that? Really?
Yeah.
All of those things can start to bring about self-doubt, which achieves nothing. So focus on what you want to do and stay focused. Amongst all the noise, you can do it, absolutely.